Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're watching this, you are probably doing your research on the Tri-Valley. Maybe you've Googled best suburb near San Francisco, or someone may have told you, oh, have you checked out San Ramon or Pleasanton? And today I'm gonna be giving you guys a real rundown. We're talking 10 things every buyer needs to know before planting roots out here. So let's get into it. First things first, when people say the Tri-Valley, they're actually talking about several different cities and communities. You got Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore, San Ramon, and then the unincorporated towns of Danville, Alamo, Blackhawk, and Diablo. Each one has its own personality, its own price point. The name Tri-Valley comes from the three actual valleys that make up the region: Amador Valley, San Ramon Valley, and Livermore Valley. Figure out which city fits your lifestyle and your budget. For example, San Ramon, very corporate, very polished, lots of tech workers. Livermore, it has that wine country feeling and tends to be a little more affordable. Danville and Alamo, that's old money, equestrian properties, gorgeous tree-lined streets. And Dublin is newer, more diverse, and growing fast. Last but not least, you have Pleasanton, which sits right in the middle. So before you fall in love with the Tri-Valley, get specific. Which city is your city? Everyone talks about the Bay Area weather like it's this perfect paradise. And honestly, for 9 months out of the year, the Tri-Valley is stunning. We're talking blue skies, mild temperatures, beautiful spring and fall. But here's what Instagram posts don't show you. Summers out here get very, very hot. We're talking July and August days where it's 100, 105 degrees. So if you're coming from San Francisco or the coast where 68 degrees is a hot day, this is definitely going to be a culture shock. So what does this mean practically? AC is not an option out here. It's essential. You're also going to want to think about pools, shade trees, and how your home is actually oriented, because a house that bakes in the afternoon sun is going to cost you a lot more on your PG&E bill every summer. The good news, you're still only 45 minutes from the coast when you need to cool down. And the nights, even in summer, they're usually pretty comfortable once the sun goes down. The summers genuinely get hot, and that's something that a lot of people from the coast don't expect. So here's the question: why is inventory generally so low in the Tri-Valley? And the answer actually goes back to a ballot initiative called Measure D passed in Alameda County in the year 2000. Measure D was designed to preserve agricultural land and open space, but the unintended side effect is that once the Tri-Valley cities were built out, the housing supply was essentially frozen. There's almost nowhere left to go within the urban growth boundary. Cities like Pleasanton have almost no undeveloped land left. The result? You've got high demand, low supply, and a market that almost always favors sellers. Now, there's some new projects coming. Dublin's been the most aggressive about building, but broadly speaking, you need to understand that this is not a market where you can take your time and think about it for 2 weeks. When a good home hits the market in a desirable neighborhood, you need to be ready to move. If you have kids or you're planning to, this is going to be one of the biggest reasons you move out here. The Tri-Valley has some of the best rated public schools in all of California. San Ramon Valley Unified, Pleasanton Unified, Dublin Unified. These are consistently high-performing districts with great programs, strong test scores, and very, very involved communities. But here is what a lot of buyers miss. School boundaries are very specific. Just because you buy a home in San Ramon doesn't automatically mean you are in the school zone that you think you are in. Same street, different side, two completely different schools. And this isn't just about elementary school. High school boundaries here are very big. Doherty Valley High, Monte Vista, Cal High. Parents are very intentional about which high school their kids attend, and it absolutely affects home values. My advice, before you fall in love with a house, please look up the exact school boundaries for that address. Don't rely on what the listing says. Go to the district website, plug in the actual address, and you will actually see which school is connected to that property. And it's very easy to check in advance. Okay, let me paint you a picture. You want to live in the suburbs, have a great backyard, great schools, a lot of space, but you also need to get into San Francisco or downtown Oakland for work a few days out of the week. That's where BART comes in. And it is genuinely one of the best things about living in this specific part of the Bay Area. Now, Dublin and Pleasanton both have BART stations, but unfortunately San Ramon doesn't. So if commuting by transit is a part of your life, proximity to BART should be high on your checklist. Just to give you an example, the ride from Dublin Pleasanton BART to Embarcadero in San Francisco, it's about 50 minutes. No dealing with Bay Bridge traffic, no paying for parking. You just hop on and you go. Now, if you're fully remote or you drive everywhere, this might not matter as much to you, but if there's a chance your work life involves going into the city, living near a BART versus being 20 minutes away from one is a quality of life difference that adds up very fast. They tend to hold their value really well for that exact reason. All right, we're getting into the money stuff now, and this one right here might be the biggest, wait, nobody told me about this. moment of the entire video. In California, the base property tax rate is about 1.1% of the purchase price. So on $1 million home, that's roughly $11,000 a year, which is already significant. But in many Tri-Valley neighborhoods, especially newer ones, there are additional taxes layered on top of that. And the biggest one here is called Mello-Roos. Now, here is the quick version. Back in 1978, California passed Proposition 13, which capped property taxes. Now, that was great for existing homeowners, but it created a new problem. New communities couldn't fund schools, parks, roads, and infrastructure through normal property tax. So in 1982, the state created a workaround called Community Facilities Districts, or CFDs, more commonly known as Mello-Roos. What this means for you as a buyer is simple. If you buy a home in a newer development, and a lot of Tri-Valley homes are in newer developments, you may be paying an additional special tax on top of your regular property tax. Now, these fees can range from a few $100s a year to several thousands, depending on the district. And unlike your regular property tax, it doesn't go down if the market goes down. It's a fixed amount based on things like your lot size or your square footage. Now, the good news, sellers are legally required to disclose this. The other good news, taxes eventually expire once bonds are paid off, sometimes in 20, 30 years. But in the meantime, you need to factor this into your monthly payment math. A home that looks affordable at first glance might come with $400 to $600 a month in additional taxes and fees once you add it all up. So always ask your agent, does this home have Mello-Roos? And if so, how much and how long does it last? Now, related to Mello-Roos, let's talk about HOAs, because in the Tri-Valley, these are extremely common. A lot of master plan communities out here, especially in Dublin, San Ramon, and newer parts of Pleasanton, have homeowners association. HOA fees can range anywhere from $50 a month for a basic single-family home to $500 or more a month for a condo or a community with a pool, gym, and a lot of shared amenities. And these fees are on top of your mortgage, your property taxes, and also Mello-Roos if you have that as well. Now, HOA gets a bad reputation, but they also do real things. They maintain common areas, they enforce community standards, they keep the neighborhood looking nice. And for condos and for townhomes, they often cover exterior maintenance and insurance. So what you really want to do before you close on any property is get your hands on the HOA financials. Is the reserve fund healthy? Are there any pending special assessments? What are the rules? Don't just see the HOA fee as a line item on your mortgage estimate. Understand what you're getting for it and make sure that the HOA is well run, because a poorly managed HOA can become a real headache. Now, this one may really surprise you if you're not from the Bay Area, but the Tri-Valley is not just a bedroom community for San Francisco. It is a legitimate economic hub in its own right. Bishop Ranch in San Ramon is one of the largest master planned business parks in the country. We are talking tens of thousands of workers at companies like Chevron, AT&T, and countless tech and corporate offices. Livermore has the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, which is one of the most prestigious national research labs in the world, thousands of highly educated employees living right here in the community. So what does this mean practically for the buyer? There's a strong, stable local economy here, and jobs are real. You don't necessarily have to commute to San Francisco to have a great career. And it also means that your neighbors are often going to be engineers, scientists, executives, and professionals. And that drives strong school funding, low crime. It also means the market is somewhat insulated from downturns. So when tech is doing well, the Tri-Valley is doing well. But when tech struggles, you might see some cooling. This area has become remarkably resilient because the employment base is so diverse and deep. In my opinion, this is the best section. So let's start with Livermore Valley. Livermore Valley is one of the oldest wine regions in California. We're talking award-winning wineries, stunning vineyard views, tasting rooms you can bike to on a Saturday morning. And this isn't Napa. It doesn't have Napa prices or Napa crowds, but the wine, legitimately excellent. Wente Vineyards, Concannon, Muretta's Wells, these are world-class producers that have been here for over a century. And it's not just wine. The Tri-Valley has a serious craft beer scene too, right? Multiple breweries, a beer trail, local tap rooms that are genuinely great. And the food scene. The food scene has leveled up significantly in the recent years. Pleasanton's downtown especially has become a destination for dining. So when people move here from the city, they expect to sacrifice culture and cuisine. Then they realize, wait, I can walk to a farmer's market on a Sunday. I can do wine tasting 10 minutes from my house. I can eat at restaurants that would be celebrated anywhere else in the country. The quality of life out here is genuinely high, and the food and drink scene is a huge part of that. And just like that, we have arrived to our number one spot. The Tri-Valley is a competitive real estate market. Because of the great schools, the BART access, the jobs, the lifestyle, demand consistently outpaces supply. Homes routinely sell above asking price. Multiple offer situations are very common, especially in the spring and fall. So what does that mean for you? It means that you need to be prepared before you start shopping. Get that pre-approval letter ready in hand before you go to a single open house. Know your budget, including all the layers: mortgage, property tax, Mello-Roos, HOA. Know which cities and neighborhoods match your non-negotiables, and have a real estate agent you trust who knows this market inside and out, because the nuances here, they matter. The first home that you fall in love with might not be the one that you get. Losing out on a home is hard, but buyers who go in educated, prepared, and mentally ready tend to land the home a lot faster than buyers who are figuring it out as they go. Now, the Tri-Valley is absolutely worth it. The lifestyle, the community, the long-term value. Okay guys, that is your top 10. I just want to do a quick recap of the 10 things that we went over. So starting with number 10, the Tri-Valley is multiple distinct cities. Please pick the right one for you. Number 9, summers are beautiful, but they legitimately get hot. Number 8, inventory is tight because of land use policies going back 25 years ago. Think Measure D. Number 7, schools are incredible, but check the boundaries before. Go to the district website, plug in your property address, make sure that before you purchase the property that you get the school that you want. Number 6, BART access is a major quality of life factor. Number 5, your property tax bill may include Mello-Roos, so please factor that into your monthly payment. Number 4, HOAs are everywhere, so read the financials. Number 3, the local economy is strong and tech-driven. Number 2, you are literally living in a wine country, guys. Number 1, you need to go in prepared because this market doesn't wait. So if you found this video helpful, please drop a comment below. Tell me which city in the Tri-Valley you're looking at. And if you've got any questions about the market, the neighborhoods, anything, drop those below too. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please stick with me through this journey. I'm going to be posting very consistently, and let's do it.